Hello guys, today we're going to do a how-to video for you. As you can see, I've got a new seat here for my Jeep and I've got a couple of new cushions to put onto it. So I thought I'd do a quick video as I was doing it, showing you how you actually attach these canvas cushions to the seats of a World War II Willys Jeep. Right guys, so I've gone ahead and put in the first screw just so I don't have to try and hold the cushion and show you at the same time. So basically what you have in this kit, you've got self-tapping screws and the little mount that goes under them. I wouldn't say that's a washer, but this bites into the canvas to help grip the canvas so it doesn't move about. You're going to need a punch and obviously a screwdriver. So it's pretty easy, you get the cushion where you want it, so I think this is pretty much where the cushion should be. Get it nice and tight, pop my first screw in, and you want to locate your hole in the seat, put the canvas exactly where you wanted and get your punch. Just make sure you're lined up with the hole. It wants to be about there, and just push that through. Then what I tend to do is get one of the screws and just by hand wind it into there a bit just to break through the canvas and get that started. And you can take that back out, get your screw, get the little washer piece, pop that in there, then you can poke it back in, make sure everything's nice and tight. There you go, and that's just slightly started it. And then with the little washer I try and keep it off the seam where it's been sewed together. And get your screwdriver, and these are stiff. I advise you run the screws through all the holes before you try and get to this stage, otherwise that's just a nightmare. That's that started. You want to do these up pretty tight, I don't want to be slipping around and tearing. So there you go, that's fairly tight. So now you can see this bit here is nice and flat. You can fold it up a little bit. And that's got the first two in. So now I'm going to move over to this side up here. Again, get it nice and flat. Find your hole, so that will be about there. Get your punch. Oh, and you see there, I missed the hole, so I'm going to have to try again. There you are. Just give that a little hand tighten just to widen up that punch hole. Take it back out. Put the fastener on, line it up with the hole, get the canvas down nice and flat how you want it, and start screwing it in. Be careful not to stab yourself when you're doing this. When they get stiff, need a bigger screwdriver. I'd say these screws are a very tight fit, but that's what you want. Alright, so that's the centre three in. I'll pop the rest of the screws into this cushion. The side ones, there's one on each side and there's one on the bottom at each end. So I'll do that one, or them four I should say, and get back to you. Alright, I just wanted to show you the bottom fitting of these rear seats on the back bit. So obviously the top bit, you've got the 5. But then on each end of the bottom bit, the canvas, so you pull it all the way round, then flip it around on top of itself in a loop, and that's just the right size to fit in the groove here, and you put the screw in from the top. You see, I assumed the screw would go in from the bottom, but there's not actually space for that, and this must be how you do it, because that is shaped and everything to fit perfectly in there. So I'll just pop the one in the other side and then we'll move on to the bottom cushion. Right, before I start doing the bottom seat, I just wanted to show you something that I thought was a bit interesting. On my old seat that the Jeep came with, the back cushion, the bottom cushion on the back seat was this way round, and it folded up like so. And when I got my new seat, I noticed that along the back there's no screw holes, and I thought, well, that's rubbish, and just assumed that was because this is a reproduction seat and they hadn't paid much attention to detail. But it does have a row of screws, or screw holes, on the inside, as you can see there. So I got curious and did a bit of research, and it turns out that the bottom cushion actually fits that way round and opens to the front, and you have the flap folded under it like that. So it's essentially screwed in like that there, and then will fold out like so. So to do this one, you need to have it out like that, and you do it from the back, which is a bit strange. Well, I think it's a bit strange, but either way, that is the way it's meant to be. So that's going to be fiddly, so I'm going to do that without the camera because that's going to be awkward, and then I'll bring you back when I've managed to figure it out. Right guys, here we are then. The seat is finished. Both cushions are on. The top one's come out pretty much perfectly. I'm very happy with that. Fortunately, had some issues with the bottom one. These fit in a weird way. So they go down there, and the seam, or the whatever you call this bit, the attacher, that goes on kind of backwards, and then you fold it in on itself, so you see it folds over itself here and you can't see any of the screws. And I messed up the placement of the holes. I got it completely wrong. It should be how it is here, but unfortunately that means that I have an extra set of holes now, which look a bit rubbish. I've glued them up from the other side so that they are closed. That looks just like that's worn really, but that's one of them things. It's not the end of the world. So that's in there now and it fits properly. I do have one problem in that this screw on this side, the hole is not the right size, so this screw will just, there you go, just comes out. So I'm going to have to find a bigger screw that can go in that hole, because it's just too big. It's not anything I've done, it's just how it's been manufactured. It isn't right. So I'll find a bigger screw, put that in there, and that's hidden up so you won't see it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And then that will be able to be used. And just knock it down like that. And that's that. So this seat's now ready to go into the Jeep, and then that can have the tyre pump put in underneath it, and that'll only be another part that's been corrected. So thanks a lot, hopefully this will help someone, and I'll see you next time.